Hi guys, Exeterrider here. Thanks for joining me again. Hope you've had a good week. This week it's the Royal Enfield 500 Bullet Scrambler. Neutral, is a neutral light? Yeah. Oh, okay. See what she's like then. God, this is different. Very, very different. Very different. It's quite a new bike this, so the brakes are still a bit on the spongy side. Selecting neutral is nice and easy. Gearbox altogether is very slick actually, it's very good. Is there a petrol gauge on there? No, I don't think there is. That's a shame. Clutch is nice and light. It's got a great feeling of nostalgia, this bike. If you like lazy riding, then this will be right up your street. Which is kind of me really. I like lazy riding. I don't like to be up there in the rev band. This thing just feels like it's going to pull in any gear. It's the sort of bike that just can't wait to get into top gear and sort of keep the engine revs low. It's very pleasant like that. The mirrors are, I don't know, I can't seem to get them right. They're a little bit on the small side. Sort of, you have to make a conscious effort to look in them as well. They don't sort of come out right at you. But you can really feel the bike going into gear when you push when you're going into up or down through the gears. You have to push it into place. That's quite nice. You kind of feel the gears engaging. Come on. Right, let's open her up anyway. Come on, baby. Here we go. There you go, 65, piece of cake. I have got more, but I don't really want to do more. 68. I'm absolutely not bothered about going any faster on this bike. I really am quite happy just ticking along at 60 miles an hour. I'm happy ticking along at 55. Have I got roll-on power? Yeah, loads, look. Yeah, it's fine. But as I say, I just don't... The bike will say yes, I'll do it, but I don't really want to do it. I just don't... I just want to cruise around on this thing. Good. How am I getting on with the seat? How many miles have I done? I've done about... I don't know, 6 miles now. It's not too bad. I think they've done the right thing in putting the springs in the seat. I'll show you that on the walk round in a minute. You've got springs in the back of the seat. That never quite made sense to me. I thought it was like a second suspension aspect of it there, but it's but it actually does that, and it also gets rid of all the vibes through the seat. I'm getting nothing through the seat. But like I say, I'm getting quite a lot of vibes on the pegs, sometimes the handlebars at higher revs. I think it's just great that they've put, you know, effort and been loyal to its origin, really, of when they were British made. And they've done it in such a way that they've built up the confidence. You know, when these Royal Enfields first come back, people were saying, oh god, it's Indian made, which first of all I say, well, so what? Who cares? That doesn't matter if it's Indian made or whatever. My bike's made in Taiwan. Who cares? They have made an absolutely cracking job of the way they've designed these bikes, the way they've put them together. This engine is tried and tested. It's a massive seller in India still after all these years, and no doubt this will get a relaunch as well, so it'll do it, do it favours. They are incredible, and I would be one of them who would sort of in the beginning were open-minded, I would say, to the Royal Enfields coming back, and I am definitely a Royal Enfield fan. Definitely, they have made an absolute huge impact on the industry. Positive impact, and not only positive impact for the industry, but positive impact for the consumers as well. They are very, very good bikes, and yes, they've got to stand the test of time, and of course they've got some people do have issues with them, and that's okay. That's, it's all subjective. Everybody's looking for different things. But I mean, just for this bike alone, I can see why it would suit certain people. Okay then folks, so what a fantastic day to do a walk round. This is the Royal Enfield Bullet 500 Scrambler. I think where I'd like to start with this walk round really is just the general looks of the bike. I think that out of all the Bullet range, I think this is one of the nicest, most unique looking bike. We've got the single seater with the carrier on the back here. The exhaust really sticks out as well, and the colour, it's got this lovely green colour matched in with the silver and the chrome. Lovely sort of silver grey sort of tank as well, with this kind of mirror chrome effect on it, and I really like that. It's nice having little quirks like the kickstand, which I might try in a minute. That'll be a first. So yeah, overall I really like the way they've kept the looks to its true original style. We've got a lot of chrome on the bike. We've got chrome on the mudguards, on this panel here, which I guess is where the airbox is, and this part in here, which I believe is a toolkit. Let's have a look, shall we, while we're on it. Let's see what we've got in here. Hopefully money. No, it's just an airbox. So obviously one of the good things about the Enfields is that everything is made simple to maintain yourself. So whether it's dropping the oil or renewing the the air filter here, everything's so easy accessible, and it's a bike that even the most unmechanical person can mend. Doesn't get easier than that really. So if there's one criticism that I can find really is the front brake. I'm going to give it its due. It is a new bike this, so it's probably still bedding in, but that's the only thing that I can kind of fault really. The seating position is fantastic. As you can see, I can easily get on the bike and I can easily put my feet up here, and you can see what I mean with this, with the peg position. It's kind of in front of you rather than here. That is so comfortable. It is such a nice way to sit. I'll be perfectly honest, I wasn't a big lover of the looks when these classics first came out, but that has grown on me, and since the Scrambler's come out, I've kind of looked at it in a different light, and I actually like the looks of it. Certainly this particular bike, this Scrambler, looks really nice. You can also get it with a red frame as well, which looks absolutely really red hot, and I'll put a photo up of one now actually. But overall, I've really enjoyed the ride. Royal Enfield are doing so well at the moment, and I think 2020 is, 2019's been a big year for them, but 2020 is going to be, I'm quite excited about it actually. I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to bring out. So another slight minus point is that it can't carry a passenger. The bike makes no apologies for that this bike isn't about that. It's about keeping it true to its original style and to the original Scrambler style, and the exhaust has got to be high up. It's designed to get through water, high up water. So that's what this bike is about. It's not about carrying passengers. So it is, in some respects, a bit of a niche bike, I would say. But this will suit a lot of people, I think. I think this will be not only good as a second bike, but good as an only bike. The bike has got these Scrambler style tyres on as well. It's not off-road tyres, it's sort of in between really. If I'm honest with you, it's not the sort of bike I would want to do scrambling on. I think the suspension is too tight for that. I mean, these days you got the monoshock suspension, and I am very much, I like the modern way of things. I like the creature comforts really. But essentially at the same time, it's still going to be a fun bike to ride off-road. If that's your type of thing, it's certainly quite an experience. And with that low torque, it's going to pull you through the roughest of terrain quite easily. Okay, so if you're going to be the type of person that owns this sort of bike, you're going to be the sort of person who wants to look after a bike. This will be a lovely bike to pull out at the weekend and sort of polish up. We've got quite a lot of chrome here. We've got the exhaust, we've got this plastic panel here, the front mudguard, but it's a very nice effect. They've done really well with the chrome plating, and it does seem to be a real top quality type of chrome product. Okay, so what's it like getting on the bike? The answer to that is very easy. I'm 5'8" with a 30-inch inside leg, and I can get my feet firmly planted on the floor. So one thing you've got to do when you've got a bike like this is you've got to try and kickstart it, haven't you? It's just there waiting to be done. I haven't done this since about 1988. So I've got the kill switch on, in neutral, let's try it. There you go, 4th time. Oh dear. Thank goodness for electric start, eh? And again, obviously I have got electric start on this bike, so that's very easy. So it's a slow starter, starts up pretty slow. But again, this is a chugging machine, so it kind of makes sense it does behave like that. Okay, so there we go, that's pretty much all I want to say. So overall, as you can see, I love the look of the bike. I think it's really fantastic. It's very sympathetic to the way that they used to be, and that's exactly how this bike should be. They didn't have to do this. Royal Enfield could have said, well, is it going to sell well? In my mind, like I say, it's a niche, bit of a niche market without it having the rear seat there. I'm sure there's options where you could change that and put on some bolt-on accessories. But essentially, great bike. A great bike, it really is. I really like it. It's a nice, relaxing ride. The peg position is great. The seat's comfortable. It's got absolutely loads of character. If a bike ever had character, then this is the one. Price point is fantastic. The finish is great. Absolutely brilliant. You can't go wrong. Let's get on the bike and have another ride. Really looking forward to getting back on this bike, It's quite addictive in a strange sort of way. I wish I could have it longer, actually. I wish I could have it like a long-term review. I think a lot of bikes in many ways are missing something these days, and for years I've always tried to get that the feeling of the way it used to feel being on a bike as a kid, generally speaking. And I think I've always been chasing that, and I could never quite find it. I could never quite find what was missing or put my finger on it. going on this bike has brought a lot of that back. I'm not saying I'd buy one. To be honest, I still don't think it's for me. Not for what I use bikes for. You know, I've like I say, I do a lot of motorway stuff with my bikes and stuff like that. But I just really enjoy riding this bike. It's one of those bikes that you ride and you can take everything in. It's not about the destination, it's about the journey. That is exactly what this bike is about. The whole Scrambler feel of it, like low speed, is ideal. It's like kind of feels like a trials bike. I'm saying like that, like I've actually done trials, which I haven't. But it is, it's very easy at slow speed to manoeuvre. It's so light up the top, you see. Yeah, really easy. It's like backing it in. Yeah, pretty good. Easy. I've got to get the bike back now. It's probably the 4th or 5th bike this year I've ridden, which I kind of want to keep it for a bit longer. So it goes to show it's how much I enjoyed the ride. Been really good fun. So once again, Royal Enfield have absolutely pulled it out of the bag for me. When I got on this, like I say, when I first saw these bikes, I thought, well, I didn't really like the look of them, frankly. But then they kind of they grow on you, don't they, some of these bikes, and this was certainly one of those bikes that grew on me. And I just got intrigued, actually, to how it would ride. And I was kind of a little bit concerned. I was going to be disappointed, but then I would have to get that over on camera or just not film it at all. But actually, I've been very pleasantly surprised. If you're on the market for an Interceptor, I would highly advise you trying one of these. Because as I say, whether I cut the bit out in the beginning, I don't know, but I do know of people who watched my Interceptor video, went and test rode an Interceptor, but then also test rode one of these with no view to buying, and they actually ended up with one of these. And I can see exactly why now. Your question you're thinking now is, would Exeterrider have one of these or an Interceptor? Difficult one. They both do kind of different things, but my head is saying the Interceptor, but my heart is saying I would have one of these 500s. I think I just probably still need that that bit of the speed of the Interceptor and the pull of it and the general sound and feel of it. But it's very close. It just depends, you know, when I had my wallet in my hand, which way the wind is blowing that day, to whether I go for a Bullet or an Interceptor. It's a tough one. I can't really answer that very easily. One thing I do know is that I didn't want to take the Interceptor back, and I don't want to take this one back either. As I say, I wish I could hire one of these for a day, really, and stick the missus on the back and go out to the pub over the moor somewhere. But you know, I to be honest, in some ways I just can't wait to get on another one, really. I hope they bring out another one so I could get on another one. It's surprising. I'm surprised how much I liked it. Anyway, So I'm nearly back now to CMS and Exeter, who lent me the bike. They sell SYM, Royal Enfields, Benelli's, that's another brand I like, which is not so well known. Yeah, they sell loads of stuff. They got a great shop there, loads of bikes. Got some demo bikes, a second-hand section. It's not the biggest shop, but it's got lots there, and there is still a lot to see. And as I say, you're going to be able to see this Enfield Scrambler, and much more. So thanks to Chris and Derek, who let me do these videos for you, to show you what these bikes are like. If this is the first time to the channel, please give it a thumbs up. That's all I ask. I'll do this for next to nothing. So please give it a good thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, do that as well. I'll leave you with the spec and the photos now in the videos. Alright, so thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next week.